Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I am fantastic. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm excited. Got a lot of fun stuff we're going to be talking about today. We got a second scoop for today as well, so super excited about that. And E is the most frequently used letter in the alphabet. Guess which one is the least used?
X.
No, Q is the least used letter in the
Really?
English alphabet. Yeah, I would have guessed X as well, but I bet apparently it's Q.
Huh.
I didn't realize that. Hey, did you know that people who take the herb ginkgo biloba are 24% likely to die over a 13-year period, according to a new study?
Why would you take it then?
Or 24% less likely to die. Sorry. There's somebody... somebody out there that takes ginkgo biloba that was like, wait a minute, why am I taking that? No. Let me say that again. I was way off. People who take the herb ginkgo biloba are 24% less likely to die over a 13-year period, according to a new study.
That's super.
That's much better. All right. Some special stuff going on this weekend. We'll tell you about that in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. We'll tell you about the whole darn weekend. Saturday, August 27th, Heidi's birthday, by the way.
It is.
Franchise Appreciation Day as well. International Bat Day. Just Because Day. And the Duchess Who Wasn't Day. Wow, that's kind of weird. It's also Sunday, August 28th, is Pony Express Day. Race Your Mouse Around the Icons Day.
Oh, my God.
Radio Commercials Day. We'll celebrate that in a bit. And Crackers Over the Keyboard Day. Wow.
What a bizarre...
Kind of a pointless weekend, really, if you think about it. Only thing good going on this whole weekend is your birthday, and that's not even the official thing on here. So.
It should be. That should be a national holiday.
Heidi Small Birthday Day. All right, there you go. Some fun stuff to chat about on the way. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend.
John and Heidi.
Email marketing is affordable and a proven way to grow your business. If it's done right, you can stay in contact with your customers to let them know when you have new things to offer. You stay in control the whole time, too. You decide when the messages are sent, and you decide what is being said. So you're constantly in control of your business image. You can do this, but don't try it on your own. Team up with one of the biggest names in email marketing, Constant Contact. Sign up for a free trial right now at radiosavings.com. Sign up now at radiosavings.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. Gary Sharp wants to act as best man at a wedding, and then he'll act as the groom, and then he'll act as the father of the bride all in one day.
What?
Yeah. He wants to be a best man, a groom, and a father of the bride all in the same day. At noon, he hopes to be his son's best man when Jason Sharp weds Christine Heath. About 20 minutes later, or however long it takes for everybody to, change clothes, Gary will take Darlene Chico as his bride. Following their ceremony, there's going to be another quick change, and then the new groom will give away his daughter, Amanda Dawn Sharp, as she weds Kevin Todd Laurie. This triple wedding will take place at the family farm. Although it may sound complicated, the plan works out pretty well for all three couples, according to one of the brides. They say, hey, we're going to save a lot because we're all getting married
imagine
one
what
day.
they're going to save. Holy
so,
cow.
One photographer that's going to snap a lot of photos. They're all going to be in those pictures anyway.
They're going to feed all the same people at each of those weddings anyway, so they might as well do it once.
DJ or band or whatever. So it's a kind of a
great
cool
idea.
So this dude, I wonder if that's a first. In the same day.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to try to get in the world's records book or something.
Because he's going to be the best man and the groom and the father of the bride all in the same day. So that's really kind of cool. It's interesting
I think it's
stuff.
a great idea.
Yeah. What the heck?
If you
why
can
not?
do it.
Hey, if you can do it, why not do it, Would you get married the same day as our kids, and maybe we could renew our vows, and we could try to get in the...
I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't, because I wouldn't want to take the limelight off of my child's special day.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But
see, this is going to be a special day for all of them at the same time, though, because he's going to be his son's best man, then he's going to be his own groom, and then he's going to be his daughter's father of the bride. So they're all having a special day together. Anyway, kind of cool, I think. And you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
and this is your brain on drugs. A woman has gotten a ticket for riding a stolen horse down the main street in a small town in South Carolina. 40-year-old woman was given a ticket for disorderly conduct after a pedestrian flagged down an officer and said, "That woman's about to fall off a horse." The sheriff reported that they found a large tan horse tied to a bench at a convenience store. The woman trying to use a phone inside. The woman's speech was slurred. She had the aroma of alcohol and was unsteady on her feet. She was riding the horse to her boyfriend's house. So
Who'd she steal a horse from?
I don't know. It was a stolen horse that she found somewhere and thought, "Hey, I'm tired of walking. How about I jump on that horse?" Yeah,
Okay.
it doesn't sound like she had a solid plan, but that's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Got your moment of duh for this weekend edition. Is it possible to legally park in an illegally parking zone? Let's try this here. A guy in England, Salford, England, facing more than $1,000 in tire damage and a ticket after parking his car in what appeared to be a legal space in the town of Salford. Not only did he get a parking ticket, though, he says his tires were partially melted by a machine that paints yellow no parking lines under the car while he was at work. He said there wasn't a yellow no parking line along the curb when he found the parking place in the morning, but it seems while he was gone, workers decided to paint the yellow lines. They were overzealous and didn't let his parked car prevent them from completing their task.
Oh my gosh, I would be so mad.
$1,000 in tire damage, so they partially melted his tires.
Oh my gosh. How could they give him a ticket if there were if they can prove they painted them while I was parked here?
He's got paint all over his car to prove it too. Yeah,
Oh
I don't
my
know.
gosh.
That would be enough to make you a little bit upset if nothing else.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Coming up, we've got your scoop of the day, and I'm going to learn to read between now and then. Hopefully I get through that okay. It's all on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now your scoop of the day. A mother bear and two cubs broke into a California home recently. Rodney Ginn of Mammoth Lakes, California says, "I came home from work and my roommate was asleep. Both doors were wide open. So I shut them, and I looked in the kitchen, and there she was with her two cubs. So I booked it upstairs. They finally left an hour later. So
I bet they trashed that house.
you think they were looking for porridge?
I bet they trashed the house.
Turned the tables on Goldilocks. I wonder how they opened the doors.
Well, maybe the roommate left the doors open. Who knows?
That certainly could be. The Pentagon's computers are reportedly targeted by hackers as many as 250,000 times a year. That's thousands of times per day.
Wow.
Yikes, that is kind of crazy. 102-year-old woman in South Carolina says her daily 4 o'clock routine is what helped her get to that age. We talked about this, didn't we? She's the one that wakes up early in the morning.
First thing in the morning.
4 o'clock in the morning, she cracks open a beer.
We did talk about her. I like her.
There you go. Can losing your cool be good for you? According to a German study, people who express their anger live 2 years longer on average than those who bottle up their rage. After analyzing 6,000 patients, researchers found that those who internalized their angry feelings ran the risk of an elevated pulse, high blood pressure, and other serious ailments. Boy, imagine how bad your blood pressure could be.
That's what I was just going to say. I'd explode.
Dr. Janet Taylor, a psychiatrist who specializes in stress management, says it's really how to express anger appropriately. She says people keep it in, the hostility, and people who get depressed certainly have higher risk for having cardiovascular disease like heart attacks and even sudden death. So they're saying, you got to get it off. You got to, if you're angry, you got to let people know you're angry. You don't have to, lose your cool and be mean, but you certainly don't want to just leave it all bottled up because that's when you start having problems. All right, moving right along. Only a 10% chance of showers today and a 70% chance of flu next month. That's the forecast. That's what they're saying. And I don't know if there's really a chance of showers. I'm being silly. I don't do the weather. We leave that to the weather people. The chance of forecasting 70% chance of flu next month is what they're actually talking about. Though there's a bunch of information now where they're predicting flus more than 7 weeks in advance. That's where they're saying 7 weeks from now there's going to be a peak in flu season in New York. And it's a growing wave of computer models that factor in things like rainfall and temperature, but there are other things now that they're using these same weather models for. Things like, when are people going to get sick? And this is a way to help people fine-tune their vaccinations and help prevent disease. These same experts are saying that the outbreak could be influenced by human behavior and other factors, including the weather. So they're saying that weather does tie into it there a little bit. Eat fiber, live longer. Do you like fiber, Heidi?
Well, I don't know what is fiber. I mean, I know that it's in bread and things like that. I like bread. So but fiber itself, I wouldn't like fiber.
What you eating over there? Just a can of fiber.
I'm eating fiber.
They have Fiber One, isn't it? That's
a cereal.
It's like a cereal. There you go. Well, the conclusion from a large study, the largest yet on fiber and longevity, says that the fiber fights heart disease and certain cancers and protects us from lung ailments like pneumonia and the flu. If you're like most Americans, you probably don't get enough fiber. The average American only eats about 15 grams a day, but they recommend a daily amount of 25 grams for women. Guess how many for men?
40?
38. You're close. Yeah, 38 grams. So we're supposed to get even more fiber than you folks.
We used to buy that fiber stuff that you could put in food and stuff, and then we just never really used it, so we ended up throwing it away.
I tried it. I was like, I'd rather just eat gravel if that's what we're going to eat, and it's free. All right, our final story here. The same researchers that discovered men do poorly on tests after interacting with a woman have also discovered that men have trouble completing tasks after just hearing a woman's name. Researchers believe the mental energy involved in thinking sexy thoughts slows down other brain functions.
I don't believe any of these studies, because didn't we just read a study a little while ago that said they were improving students' performance by putting them next to girls?
Yeah. So this is men. So when men say a woman's name, like when I say Heidi, I don't remember what I was going to say now.
Right.
See, I just lost complete train of thought because you're so beautiful and ravishing and all of that stuff. So coming up here, we have even more tall tales that I get to tell. No, you are beautiful. She's my wife, and it's her birthday this weekend, so I got to be nice to her. I'll quit picking on you. But we do have your second scoop on the way.
John and Heidi.
Whether you're following the election or not, you understand that it impacts you. And this will be a historic election. The mainstream media has their own spin on who's going to win, but PoliticalStorm.com lets you chime in. You can keep yelling at the TV if you want. See how that works out. Or truly voice your opinion and have it heard at PoliticalStorm.com. Be informed from several different sources all in one place. Watch videos, listen to podcasts like mine, and read fun editorials to engage your brain. You have a choice, and now you have a voice, too, at PoliticalStorm.com. That's PoliticalStorm.com. Now your bonus scoop. In a survey by the group Cats Protection, 75% of cat owners over the age of 55 said they sometimes prefer to share their feelings with their cat rather than their spouse or friends. 81% of kids 13 and under said they'd rather talk to their cat about their feelings than to their parents or a friend. And among owners aged 20 to 40, 60% said they'd put up with their cat's bad breath but not their spouse's bad breath. Nearly half get a better night's sleep when their cat is in bed with them rather than their spouse. And 55% would rather tolerate their cat hogging the covers, but not their spouse. So it sounds like people like their cats more than they like their, husbands or wives. In the race to get our favorites...
I bet the same things apply to dogs.
Probably.
I mean, it's just a pet. It should be your pet.
Yeah, this is the cat group, though. Cat protection group. So, there you go. And if they called you and you have a dog, they probably hung up on you. So, no, we don't care about your dog. We're talking about cats. All right. Hey, in the race to get our favorite seasonal beverage, guess who was the people to jump the gun the first?
Who's that?
Pumpkin Spice Latte from Dunkin' Donuts. Their version is going to be available in August. And Starbucks and McDonald's won't have theirs for a couple weeks after that. So Dunkin' Donuts is the first.
I can do maybe one of those a year.
Same here. And I don't mind them, and it's kind of like eggnog. I always think, I like eggnog. Then I get eggnog and I'm like, I don't really want to finish this eggnog.
But the peppermint ones that come out at Christmas time, I could do those all year long.
There you go. Hey, in a memo issued by the main office of the Philippines Police Force, they remind officers not to do anything that might create a negative impression among the members of the public. The memo says this includes taking selfies and picking their noses while on duty.
Ew.
Did you need to put the examples in there? Come on.
Wow.
Just say, behave at work. That's all you really need to say. Criminal Minds star Thomas Gibson has been suspended from the long-running show after an altercation with one of the producers. So again, a fight with one of the producers. That's usually not a good idea, if you want to, continue on the show.
If you want to keep your job and all.
Yeah. French Parliament recently issued a scathing report on why France is suffering a big drop in tourism. Turns out, and this is in the report, it's because the French are arrogant, rude, and surly. Seriously, that's what it says in the report. The list of tourist complaints include, and these are not all of them, but this is the ones that I'm going to read. Slow baggage handlers, no welcome to France signs at the Paris airport, cab drivers who refuse to speak other languages other than French, and a generally haughty attitude that is a great dishonor to France. French Parliament admits that this is not a new problem, as English author Horace Walpole wrote about this back in the 18th century, that he found French to be insolent and detestable. Ooh. Put that on a postcard.
I've always heard that. I've heard that many times.
I have to admit, though, I've only met a few French people, and the ones that I've met were really nice people. So,
but if you met them, it's because they were here. It's
not
like you were
oh, that's true.
in France.
Well, I haven't been there yet, so someday. Hey, a poll says 55% of Californians say they consider illegal aliens to be criminals. Again, 55% of Californians consider illegal aliens to be criminals.
Okay. It's in the description.
I was going to say, in the
illegal.
other 45% of Californians need to look up what the word illegal means.
Yeah. My God.
I understand what they're saying. And I think what the meaning of this whole poll is 55% consider them to be criminals. And then the 45% are like, well, other than that whole illegal alien thing, they're good folks. So I understand that.
Right. I get what they're saying.
And I agree with, there are some.
Illegal is illegal. I mean, it's
right in the title.
Right. I don't know what the dispute is.
What's the confusion here? Hey, Scientific American reports that scientists have found that the average time it takes for any mammal over 6.5 pounds to urinate is how many seconds, Heidi? 21. You know where we learned that?
Tuesdays with Charlie.
Yeah, Tuesdays. Heidi's dad told us that like 2 years ago. So the scientists, you need to catch up with Charlie. He already knew that. But I timed it to see if they were right, and it was pretty darn close. And that is whether you are a huge elephant or a tiny little cat. Now, the only time for me that's unusual.
I was going to say, I would call that a big old BS on you.
I'll have way too much to drink, and it doesn't have to be alcohol. I mean, water, whatever. And then I'll wake up in the middle of the night, and I hear her in the other room laughing. We're married, by the way, so that's why she's hearing this kind of stuff. And our final story for our bonus break here, for our little bonus scoop. Police in Maine, Westbrook, Maine, are warning the public that a large snake spotted earlier this summer, like 2 weeks ago, could still be around. A 10-foot snake skin. I've got a photo at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. It says, until the type of snake is determined, we cannot assess the safety risk. We caution people who recreate along the Presumpscot River to remain alert, maintain a safe distance for any wildlife, and report any sightings of the snake to us. Again, the image is at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This is Richard Lustig, the world's first and only 7-time lottery game grand prize winner. Since I endorsed Lottolicious, I have won something every single draw. They do all the work. You don't have to worry about running to the store to buy your tickets. They take care of all that. So if you're looking for the best way to play the lottery, to give yourself the best chance of winning, go to RadioLottoPool.com and join today. Again, that website is RadioLottoPool.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The 1964 coin that many Americans tend to save rather than spend is the Kennedy $50. Because Kennedy died, right around that time. So that the 64 Kennedy coin, although he died in 63. But that was kind of the first commemoration. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Winston Churchill shared breakfast in bed with his parrot, Toby.
I
love
cool. Winston Churchill. I've read a lot about that man, and he's just brilliantly wonderful. I love him.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Delta Airlines started out as the first crop dusting outfit to battle boll weevils. Yeah, so they started out...
What's a boll weevil?
A boll weevil is a little critter that was wreaking havoc on the farmers. So they were crop dusting, and they decided, you know what? We should start carrying people with us. Good job, Delta.
Okay.
Fun fact for you,
What's that,
Heidi.
John?
This is amazing to me. This is my post that I put on Facebook. And for those of you who don't go on Facebook, you should check this out, if nothing else, because we put a fun fact up every day. The Andrea Doria shipwreck killed more divers exploring the wreckage than people on board the ship when it wrecked.
Really?
More people. There's 52 passengers that sank with the Andrea Doria that passed away. More divers have died going down to check out the wreckage. That is crazy.
Is it super deep or something?
Must be. I don't know. It's underwater. I know that much. Don't know.
There you go. I've never heard of that one. I don't
the Andrea
think.
Doria. Oh,
I don't
we'll
think so.
chat.
Have you?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Thanks.
Let's do it now.
We'll chat. We gotta. Oh, look at the
don't know.
time. I do too. I do too.
not.
All right,
You're
we're gonna
so
chat
full
about
of
that.
crap.
We'll talk about it when we get back. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Email marketing is affordable and a proven way to grow your business. If it's done right, you can stay in contact with your customers to let them know when you have new things to offer. You stay in control the whole time too. You decide when the messages are sent and you decide what is being said. So you're constantly in control of your business image. You can do this, but don't try it on your own. Team up with one of the biggest names in email marketing, Constant Contact. Sign up for a free trial right now at radiosavings.com. Sign up now at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. Beware, ladies and gentlemen. There's this thing out there called the Internet. Ooh, it's kind of scary. Consumer Reports says many consumers are still very lax when it comes to online security. Would you say that you're lax, or do you think you're pretty...
Oh, yeah. I'm very lax.
A survey by Consumer Reports
In
estimates...
fact, I have 2 separate cell phones for my personal and...
That's not you.
Oh, that's not
somebody
me.
else.
That was in the news.
We've been on watching the news a lot lately. You're
Well,
thinking
that was
somebody
very
else.
lax.
That was lax. A survey by Consumer Reports estimates that U.S. consumers have lost about $8.5 billion in the last 2 years to viruses, spyware, and phishing schemes. In addition, the magazine estimates that American consumers have replaced about 2.1 million computers the last few years because of online threats. On the flip side, they report the chances of becoming a victim of cyberspace crimes continues to decline. In 2007, there was a 1 in 4 chance of being ripped off. Now, chances are just 1 in 6. So they're saying, hey, you got better chances now than you had then.
I must not be as lax as I thought then, because I've never had to replace anything.
No, I have. I'll tell you, I thought I had a computer virus one time, and my computer was acting really funny. This is the dumbest thing. I felt like such an idiot. It was acting funny. Like the stuff was, I was like, what the heck is going on? So I took it to a computer place to get it fixed, and it wouldn't do it there. And the guy said, it seems like one of your keys was stuck. And that's when I realized, it's like, wait a minute, I have a Bluetooth keyboard. So I left the store. I called Heidi. I was like, hey, can you look back on the credenza? Can you see, is there anything on that keyboard? She's like, my purse. Her purse was on the keyboard. That's what was causing the problem. There was no problem. Thank goodness the dude didn't charge me to check that out. He's like, all right. I even called him to let him know, because he's like, if you figure out what was wrong with this, let me know. I've never had this problem before. I'm like, my wife's purse. That was the problem. All right. Coming up, we're going to talk about...
How was I supposed to know the keyboard on the credenza behind the workstation was somehow still connected to your computer?
And I don't even
on
know.
the other side of the room.
I don't even know why I have that keyboard. All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend.
John and Heidi.
If you're in business, you need a website. Come on, it's 2016. Do you think this internet thing is not going to catch on? Many business owners that don't have a website think it's just too expensive. Well, now it's not. You can get a website for a few $100s, not thousands of dollars that are charged elsewhere. We can help you set up and design the site and then turn you loose to manage it, or we can help you manage the site for just a tiny bit more. Learn about this special radio offer right now at radiosavings.com. Get an extra $50 off if you sign up this month at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Take a listen to this. 60-year-old man was charged with disorderly conduct for lying about seeing 2 great white sharks off Martha's Vineyard Beach. Edgartown police say Michael Lopanzo warned people to get out of the water. This happened at the Joseph Silva State Beach. Lopanzo claimed that he saw 2 22-foot sharks. These things were like 3,000 pounds each. officials closed the beach. Investigations found out that he was not telling the truth.
How did they find out?
Second beach was closed on the island where the movie Jaws was filmed after lifeguards said they maybe saw a great white shark because now they were all thinking they were seeing these things. So the beaches were open the next day. While Jaws scared the wits out of a generation of film fans, experts note shark attacks are extremely rare off the waters of New England. And I don't know, he must have finally just told them, I was just teasing. There was really no shark.
What an idiot. Because the only way they would have been able to prove it for sure is if he would have told them. He should have just kept his trapper shut.
He's got a new job. Never mind. I'm going to move on. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
TV or not TV? That is the question. That might be the words if Shakespeare were writing his sonnets today. But villagers in southern Italy are trying to figure out whether television for the next 15 days, trying to live without television. I should pre-read these things.
Maybe.
They're trying to live without television for the next 15 days. The headline was good. I like that. I nailed the headline.
You
did.
did.
I get that headline?
That's
a
so
good
impressive.
Headline. I mean, that was the best headline of the day. I almost like sang it. Anyway, 3,000 people there in Italy are participating in an experiment to establish whether the lack of TV can restore a sense of community, encouraging neighborly contact by forcing people to talk to each other. 3,000 inhabitants, I believe they should just say people, 3,000 people here have agreed to not only turn off their TVs, but to cover them with a specially provided cover so they're no longer visible to temptation. And this is an experiment they're doing in southern Italy to figure out if people will communicate better.
Okay, so are they in trouble then if they decide,
No.
hey, I'm going to watch
They'd
TV?
have to say, hey, I didn't do it. I'm out. We'd make it how long? One night?
I think I'd be okay. I don't
How long
turn
were
the
they
TV
supposed to
on
do
as
this?
often as
15
you.
days. So for 2 weeks. I could do 2 weeks
I could
without
do
TV.
that.
Yeah, let's do it.
That'd be
Starting
wonderful.
now. I mean, I got some stuff to watch on the DVR, but then right after that.
John and Heidi.
Whether you're following the election or not, you understand that it impacts you. And this will be a historic election. The mainstream media has their own spin on who's going to win, but PoliticalStorm.com lets you chime in. You can keep yelling at the TV if you want. See how that works out. Or truly voice your opinion and have it heard at PoliticalStorm.com. Be informed from several different sources all in one place. Watch videos, listen to podcasts like mine, and read fun editorials to engage your brain. You have a choice, and now you have a voice too at PoliticalStorm.com. That's PoliticalStorm.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We always wrap our program up with good news, and I've got that on the way. But this story almost made our good news story because it's just such a touching story. But the reason that it's not a good story is because the dog didn't make it. So take a listen to this. A loyal dog is being remembered as a hero after sacrificing himself to save his family from 4 deadly cobras. You know,
Oh, I saw
a
this
dead
one
dog
online.
story usually doesn't make the good news. It just
No,
made me
but
think
what
of
a
Casey
good
Kasem
dog.
for some
See,
reason, though.
dogs are freaking awesome.
They are. According to Time, the Doberman and his 8-member family were relaxing in their home in India when 4 mountain cobras tried to slither
Good
in from
Lord.
outside. The dog attacked the reptiles to protect his family, and after a battle that reportedly lasted hours, the Doberman finally killed all 4. Sadly, shortly after emerging triumphantly, the dog died from the numerous snake bites that he received during the fight. Truly man's best friend, and you can read this full story on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. See, I can't put that as my good news story because that's a downer story.
Yeah, it's sad.
The dog didn't make it. They could make a movie out of that, couldn't they?
Yes, they could.
What's wrong over there? My microphone. This is in a weird spot. I'm gonna
You look like a superhero.
feel like a peacemaker. I'm gonna have to adjust this when we're off the air here. No, I got my microphone stand kind of in a funny place right now. It's kind of weird. All right, coming up, we've got some good news to share. That is on the way on this weekend edition of the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap things up around here with some good news, Heidi, and I think this is good news. An Arizona man has used a unique exercise program to lose over 300 pounds.
Holy cow.
If I lost 300 pounds, there wouldn't be much left of me.
No, there'd be nothing left of you.
No, there'd be a little bit left. I'm a little over, so I got a ways to go. According to Yahoo News, 31-year-old Pasquale Pat Baracco began to change his life 3 years ago when he was warned by his doctor that his weight of 605 pounds, 605 at the time, and other health issues put his life in serious danger.
He had to hear that from a doctor? He didn't know.
He probably knew, but his doctor really concerned him by saying, hey, it's going to probably kill you. So in response, Pat decided that every time he was hungry, he would walk the 1 mile to the closest Walmart. That's where he would get his stuff.
I read this one.
And then he would walk back home to get his meal. He's now down to 330 pounds. No, he's 330 pounds lighter because he lost so much weight. He had to have about 30 pounds of excess skin removed.
Ugh.
Yikes, that doesn't sound like it would feel good. He underwent the surgery just about a week ago. He's recovering at his home now.
Good for him.
There's
That's
a story
awesome.
online if you want to see that entire thing. It's at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. I try to share all the stuff that I think people might want to see. We talk about a lot of things, and I don't share all of it on there because some of it, it's just kind of weird stuff we talk about. But I always try to share it enough, and if there are things that we don't share that you're wondering about, reach out and let me know, and I'll see if I can find it for you again. But there's a lot of fun stuff there, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. And like I said, we do our little fun fact for you. I pick one of those every day as well. I got in trouble last week. I was told that I picked the wrong one because there was some fun fact that we shared that they wanted to show somebody, and I didn't use that one. So they were trying to remember how it went. So when they called in, I had to explain it to them. Thank goodness I keep things a little while.
There you go.
I'm a digital hoarder. I keep things way
you
too
are,
long.
which is a good thing sometimes.
All right, time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend.